What's up, everybody? Swiper here. How the heck are you? So, as many of you know, I'm a huge Viking fan. Yeah, the Vikings! This is the realm that I'll be playing at launch. Since this game is still under NDA, I thought it'd be cool to check out some of the lore that surrounds the Vikings. After reading a few lore stories, I got really excited. I mean, really excited. And I decided to start a lore series on the Viking realm. So, if you're interested in the Dvergar lore story, or just want a great story to listen to, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Our tale begins in a mining town called Sindri. Sindri resides deep within the cold and harsh mountains. The men and women who reside in Sindri are determined to bring back better days, as they've been living through hard times for quite a while. The town is led by a foreman who was chosen for his ability to keep miners motivated and organized. This was appointed to a member of the town named Dvergar. His main goal is to keep steady progress in the mines so they can bring back the glory days in their hometown. Another well-known member of the town is a man called Old Madi. Some may say Old Madi is an expert miner, and by his hand and his hand alone, he keeps the main part of the mine operating efficiently. The mines are like his second home, and you will often see him exploring the mine by himself or with others who wish to learn from his experience. He is always holding a tool in one hand and a brew in the other. He is consistently seeking the next big thing, in hopes of providing growth to their hometown. Although the men have different ways of supporting and growing their city, they both want the same thing, for Sindri to flourish again. Over the next few days, storms begin to erupt. Dvergar keeps doing what he knows best, by keeping the miners organized and on track. As the storms grow, the miners continue to do their job, working through the treacherous conditions that other towns would never endure, while Dvergar is sending team after team into the dangerous caves. Old Madi also continues to mine, going deeper and deeper into the cave. As the storm grows larger, a veilstorm appears, tearing and ripping apart the earth. Outside the caves, the town people grow fearful for their lives and the lives of all the miners inside. Seeing how terrible the storm is, Dvergar calls for the team to help retrieve the miners. As the volunteers gather around him, he realizes that everyone capable of forming a rescue party is inside the cave. As he looks around him, he sees the wives, the husbands, and children of all the miners inside the cave. He instantly regrets calling on them for help, and he tries desperately to dissuade the volunteers. But they are too determined to save their fellow townsmen and family. As Dvergar and the townspeople plunge forward through the rain and to the cave entrance, he hears a terrifying scream coming from behind him. As he peers back at the town, he sees the people of Sindri changing right before his eyes. Their bodies begin to twist and morph into strange shapes. Old Madi rushes towards the cave entrance, ready to leave the cave to save the townspeople and his family. Dvergar immediately rushes to stop him, yelling, "You can't go back! They all become monsters!" As both men stand at the cave entrance, they hear a huge crack. It forces both men to look at the sky. They see that a giant piece of the mountain has come undone above them and is sliding towards the cave entrance. Old Madi begins to call out to his family and friends. While all the commotion, his words fall on deaf ears. At the last second, Dvergar reaches out and pulls Old Madi inside the cave before the landslide ends both of their lives. Thankfully, the team makes it to safety. However, the landslide covers the entrance, trapping them inside the cave. As the walls crack and the water starts to pour in, the people begin to panic. Even the leader of the group, Dvergar, seems to be losing control of the situation. Old Madi rises up and gives comfort to everyone in the cave. He says, "We will be all right." As he lit a candle, he orders everyone to follow him. He guides the people through the twisted cave as if it was his home. Dvergar does his part by lighting a torch from the candle as he follows in the rear. A young member of the group asks, What about our home, our family, and our friends? Dvergar answers, only be glad that you are alive. They have been changed by the storm, but do not think on it right now. You have spoken of loss that we all feel. Old Madi shakes his head with great despair. There is no going back, he said. As old Madi leads him through the cave, the light from the candle and the torch begin to fade. As thunder cracks and the wind howls, the side walls securing safe passage begin to crumble. The light eventually goes out and the group is left in pure darkness. Soon, the veil's magic seeps through the walls. Old Madi feels his eyes burning. At first, he wonders, is this from his weeping? But soon realizes it is from the veil's magic. Others begin to feel the same excruciating burning in their eyes. Old Madi tries to make light of the situation by saying his eyes are hurting from seeing Dvergar's warts again. Suddenly, with all the pain they were feeling, they started to see light in the dark and began feeling as though they were intertwined with the earth. Somehow, the magic of the veil was changing them. As old Madi begins to regain his sight, he starts looking for a way out. He notices a large crack forming in the side of the wall, which leads downward. Finally, he thought, an escape! He jumps at the opportunity and begins leading his people away from danger. The group starts to wonder, where are they going? And is it safer to go outside or stay in the tunnel? As old Madi continued to lead the group, he says, it seems to me this is the best way to go. I don't pretend to understand it, but I feel that we are meant to go this way. As fate pulled old Madi and the group forward, the tunnels begin to turn and twist, feeling endless. At this point, the group is in territory that no one has ever seen before. The group soon realizes that they are all out of food, and they must do something to find food if they're going to live. As they approach the twisting and turning tunnels, old Madi finds food. He sees a field of mushrooms. These mushrooms allow the group to push on and on. As the water from the storms spread deeper through the cave, the group continues to venture forward. As they trek through the tunnels, the walls begin to narrow. Old Madi urges the group to press on, but Dvergar suggests they go back to where they found the mushrooms and regroup. Old Madi shouts back, nonsense! Are we not miners? Get your tools and get to work. After breaking through the narrow walls, they were greeted by a warm, dark, vaulted cave, which opened like an endless tomb of the gods. An open sky emerged and stars appeared within the deepest riches of the world. Old Madi wanted to continue, but the people had had enough. They lost too much and could no longer keep going. Dvergar rises up and suggested that they stop and settle here. They cannot turn back, and here they can start a new home, never forgetting what took place in Sindri. They call this newfound land the Dark Fields. As the group settles into their new home, they have new areas to explore and new brews to craft. The group discovers magical flora and fauna, things they've never seen or heard of. These animals are seen as both magnificent and odd. Many of these animals are taken in and tamed by members of the group. Old Madi refers to the most beautiful ones as deep sheep. Old Madi feels the land has not yet been fully explored, and so he begins to retreat further and further into the caves. Dvergar is soon appointed king over the Dark Fields. The miners start building homes, forming tribes, and establishing kingdoms. The people of Sindri begin to change their inner world to match themselves, while their bodies change to match their surroundings. They begin calling their newfound world the inner world, while the old world, the one that was torn apart by the Veilstorm, they call the outer world. Over time, other caves were developed and given their own names. Each area became its own independent kingdom. These kingdoms were called nodes, and each node was led by an original miner. Everyone was happy and comfortable with the wondrous and mysterious inner world. Thus, telling the story of the Dvergar and how they became. All right, guys, so that is part 1 of the Dvergar story. Now you understand why this race has stone embedded in their body. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge lore guy. I usually don't go out of my way to read the lore, but since this game is under NDA, I had some free time and I was like, let's read the lore story, let's read all this stuff. I want to know where these Vikings came from, you know what I mean? And I was really happy with some of these stories. I really was. And it just makes you feel like you're more part of the game when you can look at a character, right, or a race and say, I understand why there's rock embedded in their skin. I understand the whole story behind it, and it makes perfect sense. But anyway, this specific lore story comes from Camelot Unchained's main website. Now, if you're unfamiliar with their website, they have a whole section devoted to the lore. So I highly recommend you check it out because I did leave some little nuanced things out here and there. Some things that might actually give you a bit of a laugh or, they just describe the story a lot better than I did. I tried to kind of summarize it and put it into terms where I could understand it and like kind of project it in an easier manner. But either way, if you like this story, check out their website, check out the lore, and please hit that thumbs up. I'd like to do these each week, and if people really enjoy these, I'll definitely continue to do them, and maybe I'll even venture into the other realms. But the Vikings will always come first, no matter what. So anyway, if you want updates weekly regarding Camelot Unchained news, and anything else related to MMORPG greatness, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter. Have a great weekend, everyone. I will talk to you all very shortly. Peace out.